One time I had to babysit one of my neighbor's kids overnight. We're gonna call the kid Benny. The parents didn't really tell me anything when they left me alone with Benny, but they left me a note and they were like, you can only open it in emergencies. So at this point, I'm alone with Benny. It's like 11 p.m. and I told Benny, I was like, dude, you should like get to bed. It's late. Then Benny starts getting really red and he's like, no, we don't want to sleep alone. Sleep with us, please. I didn't know why Benny said us, but I was like, whatever, okay, like, yeah, I'll sleep in your room, like, it's fine. So fast forward a couple hours, it's like 3 a.m. at this point. This is the best part.
Benny starts talking in his sleep and he's like, take her instead. You're not my friend anymore. I am not yours.
And I try waking him up and I look at him and his eyes are wide open as he says this stuff. I was freaking out, so I went to go open the note that his parents said was only for emergencies. It just gets better. The note said, we're sorry for not telling you. Run him a cold bath. Call 911 in case anything happens. What the
Story time on how I almost went to jail when buying phones. Good guy Josh, I know, just listen, I promise I didn't do anything wrong. It was about 2 years ago and I was on my Josh Connects type beat, you feel me? Buying tons of phones, and like I bought a lot of phones to practice repairing, to sell, etc. I meet this guy at McDonald's, right, to buy 2 iPhone X's for parts because he said they were iCloud locked and they were his ex-girlfriend's because they had a tough breakup, but he was the one that purchased them through Verizon. So I made him sign a bill of sale and praise the Lord I did. So I bought the phones for parts considering they were locked. I put both of the iPhone X's in the back of my car, in my bag, and right as I'm about to pull out, one of them starts ringing, and it wasn't like a phone ring. It was like beep, 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 because it was in lost mode or something like that. So I get out of my car and go to the trunk, and I'm like, what is that noise? I look on the screen, and it was saying lost mode, and it was ringing like crazy. I guess it still had the SIM card in it. So I take it out of the bag, and I'm trying to turn it off. I turn around, and the cops are behind me. This is part 2. Okay, so the cops are right behind me. 2 cars. They get out of the car. I'm talking like, poof, poof. I'm like, okay, who are they going for? And they walk up to me. I'm like, free me, bro. I ain't do muffin. They're like, what you got in the bag, boy? I'm like, dude, I just bought these, blah, blah, blah. Other guys start saying chill. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean chill? Y'all just rolled up on me. And they're like, yeah, here's a problem, bud. You're in possession of stolen property. So I put 2 and 2 together, the lost message, a cheap price for 2 iPhone X's, and the cops right in front of my face. I'm like, whoa, 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 I am not about to get a felony. Hold on, put it in reverse, Terry. I show them the bill of sale that he signed with his driver's license, which was stupid for a criminal to do. They take both of them. After not believing me, I showed them my business card and what I actually do. I show them the bill of sale, and I'm like, I own these. And they go, well, no, you don't, because they're stolen. Tough scene. They literally take them, and I lost all my money. But that phone went back to the original owner.
So there's this lighthouse that you can see from my house, and my mom used to tell me a story about a woman who used to live there. No one lives in it now, but there used to be this young woman in her 20s who lived there like 30 years ago. Apparently she came from a really broken home. Her mom and sister died in a horrible car crash, and her dad was an abusive drug addict. So the harbor master let her live in the lighthouse and paid her a small salary for taking care of it. So she had been living there for a couple months, and that's when she noticed weird things starting to happen. Some of her belongings would occasionally go missing. Like one time she couldn't find her flashlight and she looked for it everywhere. And finally she found it under her bed, which was weird because she knew she had never put it there. But then weirder stuff started to happen. So at this point, she had been living at the lighthouse for like 6 months, and she was getting pretty creeped out because bizarre things started happening. She started noticing that some of her food was going missing, but she was the only person who lived in the lighthouse, obviously, and she was really specific about what food she bought when she went grocery shopping. She went to the grocery store at the beginning of each week, and for example, she would always buy 7 apples, 1 for each day of the week. And she was always really precise about that. But there were a few Sundays where she didn't have any apples left by the end of the week, which didn't make any sense because she always counted at the grocery store to make sure she had 7 apples. So she started getting more and more creeped out, but she didn't want to say anything because she had nowhere else to live. And then one night, she woke up in the middle of the night to something touching her feet at the end of her bed.